have had the strangest experience that I could ever have. That one experience that I might have that I think to myself, oh my gosh, that was just crazy. I'll have an even stranger experience like the one I had this morning. Good morning, guys. It's 2:21:23. That is the date. It's 6:17 a.m. and this is old school. I'm doing this right after my experience. Actually, my experience took place probably about an hour or so ago. No, it wasn't an hour ago. It wasn't an hour ago. I checked the time, and when I checked the time when I opened my eyes, it was 5:46 a.m. So this happened probably about 5:30 a.m. Whoa. So let me get into it. So it's actually, I started off about a little before 5 o'clock in the morning. I was laying down. I decided to do, just to meditate, just to relax, just to clear my mind. That's what I was thinking. I wasn't necessarily focused on having an experience. I'm always open to it. And that is always my suggestion to you guys, is not to focus too hard on things. To me, I was just meditating. I was just clearing out all the stuff that might be caught up inside me and just focusing on that, clearing my mind and just relaxing. And, focusing on my breath, doing all those things. And at some point, guys, I reached that middle space. Now, for those of you who are interested, I did have on storm sounds. That was helping me with this process of relaxing. And when I hit that middle space, normally I always tell you guys I roll off the bed, or at least that's what it feels like. It feels like I'm rolling off the bed and I'm going to hit the floor. This time it was strange because this time I went off one leg at a time. So first my left leg came off and then my right leg came off, and it was just different, a little different, similar. But like I said, normally my whole body just kind of rolls off and then I just start gliding, right? This time I came off, and when I came off, I don't believe I was gliding. I came down. It was almost as if when I came off the bed, I was descending, right? Descending as if my bed had been up in the sky. And so then I come down and I land, both feet, I land, and I'm in this dark place. Now, it was a house, and the first thing that was, again, this is so strange. The first thing I remember was there was something like a mask or something that was above my nose that covered my mouth. It was over my eyes, actually. And I remember I had to lower it. I had to keep lowering. I was like, what is this thing? So I'm pulling down on whatever this is with my hand. I'm trying to pull it down so that I can see the surroundings, because at first it was dark. The darkness lifted as always, but this mask or whatever it was kind of blocking my view. Now, as I was able to lower it slowly. It just seemed like it was really covering my face, but I was able to lower it slowly. And then I was able to kind of make out my surroundings. The first thing I saw was, I think, a sort of bookshelf or a shelf. And I seem to see a lot of shelves when I go to these places with a lot of trinkets, a lot of different items that are on the shelf. And this was absolutely no exception. There were trinkets on this shelf that I saw that I was facing. There were other objects around me, but I was focused on this shelf, this bookshelf or whatever it was. And I touched it. I believe it was wooden, it was solid. So I'm testing just to see, okay, this feels like a bookshelf. And then I picked this, there was this item. It was like a small wooden mouse. So I picked the small wooden mouse up. It's solid. I'm looking at it. It looked like maybe it was there were things that were carved into this thing. Not sure. So I put it back, and then I continue to explore this house. I go into a room. Now this is where it's gonna get very strange. I go into a room and there's a couple and they're sleeping in this bed, right? Big bed. So I look at the bed. I noticed that this couple, they weren't made of flesh and blood. They were made of what I perceived to be bronze, like a metallic. I'm going to say bronze because it's the closest thing I can come to what I perceived. That's what it looked like to me. Now, were they really made out of bronze? I can't be 100% sure, but that's what it looked like. Whatever it was a metallic, it was some sort of metallic substance. And, oh God, it was so strange. They were sleeping. I could see these two bronze beings. These bronze beings, they were breathing, guys. They were breathing. And so I'm just looking at them. And I started tiptoeing. I started tiptoeing by the bed because I was like, what's going to happen if I wake them up? I mean, what's that going to be like? Two metallic what the heck? They're made out of bronze. What are they going to do? I don't know. So I started walking, tiptoeing by the bed, continuing to lower whatever this mask was that was over me. I was still lowering it down, but at some point I'd gotten it to a point where I could see things more clearly. And so as I'm walking by this couple, I'm constantly looking at them like, God, please don't wake up. God, please don't wake up. Once I get to a certain point, and I think one of them actually woke up. And I'm like, oh my God, they're going to get out of bed. And as soon as I start to panic, I found a way out. Now, this is where I kind of lost a little bit. It was almost as if I was able to transition from one point to another, because I was able to walk out of this place, like right at that moment. I don't recall opening a door, guys. I don't. But I just remember I was able to get out. I remember the first thing I saw was there was a blue sky, very, very blue. The surrounding area, there were houses, and they almost looked like townhomes to me, or a form of a townhome. In fact, it was so funny. When I was thinking about this, after I opened my eyes this morning, I was thinking like a desert community. I don't know why that came into my head, but that's what I was thinking. It was like a desert community. Like, I don't remember sand or anything, but that was what my thought was. So I'm looking around. Actually, when I first came out, I actually tried to fly. I came up a little bit. I was able to fly a little bit, and then I came down again. I think the gravity was pretty heavy there. I was pretty heavy, so I wasn't necessarily able to fly. I was like, okay, cool. I'm not able to fly, but I think I was panicked. So I was trying to get into the air. And so I go out and into this area, and um, I hear this voice, and it's coming from one of the other townhomes. And there's someone walking down the steps, and they're saying, very clear as day, excuse me. And they had a kind of a stern voice, the kind of voice you would hear if you were in a place that you're not supposed to be. And that kind of like, excuse me. And I'm like, oh my God, who is this? So this person comes out. It's a woman. She's got short hair, sort of really thick. But I tell you, she looked mostly human, but there were aspects of her face that I noticed that didn't look human at all. The only thing I can really tell you about her face that I can recall were under her eyes, like under where her eyelids would be. I think there were like gills or something like that. There was something under there, and it kind of freaked me out a little bit. I'm like looking at this lady, and she's coming right up on me, like clear as day. In fact, I remember I think she was wearing like a polo shirt, and she comes up on me as she's saying, excuse me. I'm like, you know what? I'm out. and so and so with a single thought, I just went, I want to be back. Boom, I was back. Opened my eyes, and yeah, that's it. And I got to tell you guys, I apologized to this woman, and I know this is going out into the universe right now. And so I have to apologize to her because I don't know, for all I know, she was wanting to welcome me or to be nice. My perception was that she was maybe upset, but I'm not going to know that now because, well, I left. And one of the things that popped into my mind right before I saw her was, I wonder what this world is called. So maybe she was going to tell me what the world was called. Anyways, I freaked out a little bit. I think because, regardless of the access that I have in doing Beyond Body / shifting, I'm still human, and I think certain things it's still difficult for me to get over. And I was a little, I don't know, I was a little freaked out. Anyways, thank you so much for coming on this adventure, this journey with me. And until next time, take care.